Reactive Training Systems.
What is up? It's Jim Ellie with Reactive Training Systems, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about cueing your athletes. There is a lot of stigma about the effectiveness of cues. There's a lot of talk and discussion about how certain cues are horrible for powerlifting and that you should never say this to an athlete and that you should only say these things, and these group of words are really effective. An effective cue is one that allows the athlete to perform a movement that is more beneficial, stronger, and allows them to feel more confident with the movement entirely. So let's say an athlete has a chest fall movement pattern. When they get down in the squat, they kind of crunch their core to a degree where it definitely seems like it's an inefficient movement pattern. On one hand, we can definitely program exercises like a pin squat or a pause squat or a safety bar squat to help correct that movement with the intensity and the stress of the program. On the other hand, we can also talk about what the experience should feel like when they've made that improvement, so they can kind of start thinking about what does an effective, efficient squat feel like. Oh, well, my coach just had a conversation with me about it, and now I'm thinking about that experience as I move through the progression of my lifts, as I do more pin squats, as I do more competition squats. The most important aspect of cueing and developing effective cues with your lifters is less about the one word that you use and more about the dialogue and the communication that you have with your athletes. Because a lot of times, one word that you think makes sense isn't going to make sense with your lifter. The reason is that, let's say we have a cue like chest up for the chest fall movement pattern. Now, if the lifter actually has a chest fall movement pattern and you're cueing them to bring their chest up into a neutral position, then that cue is perfectly fine for that lifter for that experience, because the word that you use or the cue that you use is context dependent. It's also reference dependent. What does this word mean to this lifter? And if you're having an open dialogue about their training sessions and you're cueing them to have their chest up when their chest falls in the pin squat, and they know when you say chest up, you don't mean hyperextend the back, you just mean go from here to a neutral position. You could also say neutral spine. You could also say long neck, bring your neck up, or pull your shoulders down, or some other cue that does the exact same thing. The most important part is that we don't miss the forest for the trees. What is it that we want from the athlete? Ideally, we want the athlete to feel more comfortable, more confident, and have a game plan so they can approach the lift and actually perform it in the best, most effective way that they can, that their body allows for. That's just kind of my perspective on how to cue for powerlifters. Is there an experience that you've had with your lifters or with your coaches where a cue that they were able to give you is super helpful? Or do you find it to be on average ineffective, in that the only way that you get better is through exercise selection and long-term program development? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, press the alert button so that you know when we get our next video out. Hope you're enjoying these, and I will talk to you in the next video. If you would like a great precursor to the Emerging Strategies Classroom, where we talk about how to develop programming, how to find your time to peak, how to work with individuals in totally individualized training, you might be interested in our older courses, RTS Classroom, Microcycles, and Mesocycles. These classes teach you more in depth about exercise selection, about program design, about periodization theory, about what you can learn from that and then implement into our new bottom-up training approach that we have for our athletes that we're currently teaching hundreds of coaches around the world. Our next classroom starts in October, but right now you can sign up for the bundled package of Microcycles and Mesocycles to learn about all of these things. 20 courses, 10 hours of footage, Mike Tushir teaching you all of these things. Again, it's a great precursor to the Emerging Strategies classroom. Click the link in the bio and I will see you in the next.
Reactive training systems.